Hi, it's Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 2 of them ages 12 and 15. Today is the last collaboration as part of our Curriculum Picks series this year with Davine from Common the KS Homeschool and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. So when you're done watching this video, take a look in the description for the playlist to see all the other homeschool YouTubers who are participating and discussing their electives or extracurriculars or anything else that they are adding in. If you didn't already see it, I have a video for math, for ELA, for science and social studies group subjects, and this is the last one for electives and extracurriculars. So first of all, electives classes that didn't already get covered. My son is doing Spanish this year. He's doing Spanish again next year to get his foreign language credits. This year we've been using just a simple middle high school Spanish book. I do know some Spanish. I'm not a Spanish speaker, but I do know some Spanish. So we've been using this year. I'm just using like as a guide for what to teach, and then we do the teach and we practice, and we might do more practice on our own. I'm just sort of playing it by ear. He doesn't really care one way or the other if he learns a language. It's more a requirement. So we're just getting through this as best as we can. So next year we will continue this because we're not going to finish it. We just started it. And I will add in other things, YouTube videos or, TV shows in Spanish or whatever I throw in, probably, unless I come up with something better for next year. But at the moment, that's what we're going to use. And then for his other elective that he's taking in first semester as well is game theory, video game theory, I guess. So we're going to use the book Game Design Theory and Practice that I found a free copy online. It's the 2005 version, so it's a little bit outdated, but I figured out, well, ChatGPT's help, what would be outdated and what would be current. And so it's just like examples of games or showing what the games look like that's more outdated than the actual like game theory. So I used ChatGPT to help me design. I'll show some stuff up here of how I can use that book for a actual class. So it shows specifically like he uses Roblox to code. That's what he codes games in, even makes some money with it. So what we're focusing on, using Roblox. So it gave me read this chapter. I told him exactly how many days a week and what days I was doing school, like exactly how many days. And then it tells me exactly, this day he reads this chapter and this day he reads this chapter. Or then, sometimes he does an activity to go with that chapter, whatever. I'll show you, like I said, pictures up here. So I have that all basic planned out, and we'll plan it out more. And unless I can find a physical copy of the book for cheap, we'll just be using the online. He likes reading online better anyway, so I'm okay with that. And so that will be a class for him. And then also, so my daughter doesn't have anything else this current year, 2025, 2026, I planned way too much music and art and tech, and we kept putting off and not having time for anything. So I'm going back to basics next year. We're doing ELA, math, science, history, and geography. But I'm not focusing on anything else unless we decide to add it in later, but at least at the beginning we're not. So I don't have any other electives for her right now. But as for enrichment, what we do is enrichment Thursdays. We recently started that. It's basically like morning basket type things, except it's all in one day. So we do school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday we don't do our regular school. We do enrichment Thursdays, and we kind of add in all the extras that I want to add that don't fit into their normal schedule. So for next year, I'm looking at doing some social emotional learning with a program called Be Good People by Scred, SCRED. It is completely free online, and I'll put a link to it in the description, but also it's from my homeschoolforfree.com website, where I list free curriculums and resources for all different subjects. So I have that listed there. It's actually the first one, I believe, under social emotional learning. So you can check out other ones there if that doesn't work for you. We're going to do the grade 9 to 12 program, even though I'll have a grade 7 and a grade 10. We'll just adjust it as needed, and we're going to try that. So I've never tried it before. I have the access to the materials right now, but I don't know how it's going to go. So we could totally change that if it doesn't work. It's free, doesn't matter. But at the moment, that's the plan. So every Thursday we'll do a little bit of social emotional learning. We will do anything that's holiday related. So like if a new holiday is coming up, we'll do a fun activity for that. I'm working on life skills. My list is not here, but I have a list of life skills that I really think my kids need to work on. And I don't mean like taking out garbage and stuff like that. We've already been working on that, talking more like decision making, those executive functioning skills, those sorts of things. Self-advocacy for my son because of autism, wanting to be able to like speak for himself and like tell people what he needs, things like that. And then also some books. Oh, so books. I have lots of children's nonfiction over there. And I have lots of ones. So like I've shown before, like this year we're learning one about social skills and one about study skills and stuff like that. But I have like different nature ones, how things work. So our picture books, some are just children's nonfiction. So any of those that I want to share with my kids, but they don't fit into our specific curriculum. Also, our curriculum next year, if you saw the other picks, we're using a lot of Guest Hollow, and they're very literature-based. So if we find there's books that we want to read, but we just don't have time to fit them in, we might read some of them on the weekend. I mean, Thursday. And yeah, so I might add other things and we change it throughout the year. But like that's kind of the gist of what we're planning to use for Enrichment Thursdays next year. I don't really have a lot to say for this one. So if you haven't already watched them, make sure you check for my other curriculum pick videos. Like I said, math, ELA, and science and social studies ones to see what our picks are for next year. And if you have any suggestions for Spanish, our budget is very tight. So if you have something free that you use or something very budget friendly, I would love to check into it, especially for someone who doesn't enjoy learning languages. I do not want to use Duolingo. That doesn't work for us, and or at least for him. But if you have any suggestions, let me know. And don't forget to check out the playlist in the description. Bye.